Hello and welcome to the B-Bun. Here we are yet again. We're on episode 6, and as always, joined by my compadre in arms, the one and only Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. Cool. And joining us this week, yet again, back for round 2. You just can't get enough of the stuff. It's a Red-Eye Jedi. How you doing, mate?
Yes, not bad. Good week. Good week.
Yeah, cool. Much gaming this week?
Little bit. Same old Gears. I bought Oddsworld, new and tasty.
Oh yeah.
Quite like that. Very similar to everything else, but the other old world games. But
it's very. I know they're kind of puzzle based, but I can't get enough of them. I love the quirky humour in them.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting a big group together and farting and listening to them all laugh. It always puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? No, it's good fun.
Yeah, cool. So just a bit of Gears and new and tasty.
Bit of Walking Dead as well. The Michonne one's out now. I'm halfway through the first one. I've bought the second one. I've got to do them before I do that because otherwise it's a waste of money, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I do too much of that. Many games I haven't played yet. I keep buying them on the
Telltale games are like a crack addiction. Yeah. Once you start them, you just can't walk away. You want to finish it. You want to get to the end. You want the storyline, but
unlike crack, they're getting better and better.
Touché.
So, Link, what have you been gaming this week?
Very little. Been mainly just sort of getting little bits and bobs on my phone more than anything. But I did start that Hands of Fate, the Xbox One Games of Gold.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, it's not too bad. It kind of reminds me of do you remember the old Livingstone, Jackson Livingstone books? Ones where you'd have a dice and you could choose which ways and you go to certain pages and all of that. It kind of a bit like that.
Famous Bowie.
But yeah, it's not bad. It's not brilliant, but I paid all of nothing for it, so it's amazing. It's the best game in the world.
Yeah, the free stuff's always good.
Cool. Well, unlike everybody else who's doing sensible things and playing games for free, I've been spanking cash on Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
Nice.
And played the demo of it.
Yeah, did the beta. Wasn't sure.
Nah, nor was I. I wasn't 100% sure on it. I thought, well, as I wasn't sure on the demo, best spank 40 quid on it.
As you do.
Yeah. Which I did. And I've just been caning around as a large piece of corn, blasting out bits of hot buttery goodness at people, and it's surprisingly addicting. It's just such a simple gameplay, but love it, absolutely love it.
I just found it to be slightly like Star Wars in that the weapons don't seem to impact as much. When you're hitting something, you're shooting and they're just sucking everything up.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, as soon as you go up against a plant which has got like a vase on its head and you're like trying to cane your way through that porcelain, it's like, come on, go down. But there's this, I know there's loads of different characters you can play as, and what they've done pretty smartly is they put variation of characters. So like one will have like some toxic effects, so if it usually just bites or something, it starts actually like poisoning people and all this stuff if you get the variations of it, which is cool.
It's the old money for old rope design.
Yeah, and they'll be selling you lots and lots of characters, no doubt. But
Street Fighter.
But there's one particular like move that I just couldn't stop doing. There's this on the corn guy, he can basically do like an arching jump over the top of your enemies and he just canes them with loads of corn, like dun, 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 dun.
Nice.
Oh man, addicting. But yeah, so I've been hammering that, and the other one which really, really surprised me, especially considering what the reviews have been saying about it, was Far Cry Primal. Just started playing it last night and haven't stopped.
Nice.
Just have not stopped. There's something really simplistic about like squatting in a bush and batting arrows at people. No, not doing that, Jedi. But like just firing arrows at people. It's
when you remove the sort of all the technology out of it as such, and it becomes a lot more of a visceral.
Yeah, headshots from a distance with a bow and arrow. Like, oh, amazing! And you arrived earlier on, Jedi. I was trying to hunt down some rare animal, which
go well.
I just got busted up by a load of rhinos.
Nice.
Do you think there's going to be a new trend in the first-person shooters? There's been rumours, isn't there, about the new Battlefield being World War One. If everything's going to start going backwards, now we finish with the jetpacks and wall running and cybernetic arms and laser guns. And
I'm kind of hoping it does.
Yeah. Why can't they stretch and do all? Why can't some people do some futuristic ones? We always have to go through a cycle, don't we? We go through it. Yeah,
but I can't get the feel with Battlefield. What they've done is gone, right, we're out of ideas. it's time to look at what Call of Duty did.
Well, no, it's not necessarily even that. It's a case of they're like, right, everyone's clamouring after us to do World War II one. Let's go one better. We'll do World War One.
Well, I think the half the thing now is that you got the graphic fidelity, so we want to see. I remember playing Medal of Honor on PS2. Do you remember the beach landing?
Yeah.
Now I put that on again not too long ago. Now as I remember it, there's people everywhere and bombs going off. It's so sparse. Yeah. So the sound is fantastic.
At the time,
it really is.
Look at that! Oh my God, it's like being there.
There's about 4 people on the beach. I shit you not. It's so to see that rendered now. I think you look at the start of Rise. When they're going through something like that, and the D-Day landings would be fantastic. I don't care if I've paid for it and played it before. I'd do it again if they can make it look anything like that.
Surely they need to do some sort of like Saving Private Ryan, taking the helmet off. Oh, that was lucky, getting somebody's brains sprayed all over the screen.
This is it, they need to, because
especially with VR.
Oh God!
Because the Vive set that's been announced to release this week.
But you're not going to get graphic fidelity like that on a PSVR, are you? It's not going to be able to handle it. Not in any decent length game.
Yeah, not necessarily. It won't be, obviously, but it won't need to be exceptional. The frame rates and the resolutions won't need to be 1080p and all of that.
No.
So 60 frames a second. Well, that's the important part.
Yeah,
I'm sceptical. I'm very sceptical.
It's strange because when it's that close to your eye, I think you've got to do a bit of faffing around with it.
But
it's
just
not the same.
you got to bear in mind. For me, I was like, VR,
And then tried the Gear VR headset, and you're like, "This is pretty fucking good."
It's amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I was sat in a room with 100-inch screen in front of me, and I was like, I might just walk over to my sauna and do absolutely nothing with it.
Is that the one that you clip the phone into?
Yeah. It was actually.
I've got the phone for that. I was looking the other day.
So really, 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 really basic technology, and still, it was amazing. It was
I suppose just for watching films.
Yeah.
Just banging the film.
The thing is,
tomorrow, like you say, you can't afford a £4,000 4K TV.
Yeah.
Or you've got a tiny little box room.
I've got a 4K TV.
But again, though, especially Japan. The average room size is minuscule. I think it's one of the few places in the world that's got smaller floor space than the average home in Britain.
Well, put it this way: I put that headset on. I was sat on the moon with a screen in front of me and some virtual popcorn that I couldn't eat directly in front of me, and I was looking at this huge screen whilst being sat on the moon. I was like, "This is amazing."
Do you know how much they are?
No, but I'm sure you will within 24 hours.
They're releasing a new one, Samsung are.
Yeah, the S7 now, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got the Gear VR, it's down to 99 quid.
Is it? Oh, good. Well, I've got the S6, and that's got 4K, UHD output on it. So
Cool.
Interesting.
Right. Well, there's it looks like somebody's going to be buying something this week. Let's head over to our Bullet Bill's Big 3. Bullet Bill's Big 3, baby! Love a bit of Bullet Bill's Big 3. Jumping straight into it, what is our first bullet hole for this week, Link?
We've got some Resident Evil news.
Is it good news?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So they're doing a new Resident Evil. They're going back to the puzzle-based stuff. They're not making it really, action-orientated, and they're making a really solid game. Is that what you're saying?
No, they're making 3 solid games. Well, they've already made them. They've been making. They're releasing 4, 5, and 6. Obviously, the 4's an absolute killer. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Great game.
And then it kind of just got from bad to worse. Really,
what was her name? The character, the secondary character on 5.
I don't know. Yeah,
the Brazilian woman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God! The controls, the computer controlled her so badly.
Yeah.
It just ruined the game entirely.
Yeah. I mean, they just never sorted that out, though, did they?
No. Hopefully, though, it's one of the sort of points that I thought of is, will they actually use this time to fix it.
I know. Ask me, sir. I'm smart.
Yeah.
No.
But then looking at that they're going to be out. Well, the sixth one is coming out on March the 29th. I'm thinking probably not. Again, they don't have much time they spent on them.
So what, they're doing 6 first?
Yeah, they're doing 6 first. That's obviously the end of March. Then they've got summer 2016 for 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, the only one that people probably will actually wait for is 4.
Yeah.
And that one's not till fall. So
brilliant. I love those big hold all generic sort of like landing times for games.
$20 a piece. And that was dollars, so hopefully that might translate to 15.
Do you know what, with this one, do you know where I am with this? When I first heard about it, I was like, okay, that's cool. I could play those 3 games again. How much is it going to be? And then I found out they were releasing them both, like, all individually, and I was like, fuck off. Not happening.
I don't know, though, because obviously I sort of thought, is it really worthwhile?
No.
Because, again, most of the people that are going to buy it would probably have got it on PC.
Yeah.
Because they've all been out on PC, or the original Xbox, when they released.
I just don't see them as the sort of game that a younger generation gamer that has missed those games, the sort of game that they're going to pick up. Because you look at reviews, and they say that it's just gradually got worse, and we're going to start with the pinnacle of the shit at number 6.
Well, to be fair to them,
isn't it?
Yeah. Shittest one first.
Yeah, only going to get better as we go backwards.
Can't believe you bought that one, but guess what?
Would you like to try the second one?
But then by the time you get
the
back
previous
down,
one, it's better.
It's slightly less shitter.
by the time you get back down to 4, which was undoubtedly the best one, you've lost a lot of game mechanics which were added, which were better mechanics in a worse game, and then you get all the way back to 4 and you're a bit lackluster, even though it's a better story.
So the question is are they going to do something smart and add those mechanics in, or are they literally just going to glaze over the HD brush and just go 20 quid?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm thinking it's that. I don't know, it could be a case of it's because it's the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil, the first one.
Yeah.
Obviously to generate some more buzz around the Resi, because it has faded off somewhat in the
So why not just make Resident Evil 1?
They did it on the GameCube.
No,
they have re-released it on it.
No.
Yeah.
What they did was they did they didn't do a reboot though. Do you know what I mean?
No.
They just did a
they ported the GameCube one over, didn't they?
That's
they
one.
the HD'd it.
Yeah.
HD'd the redo.
Yeah. But I mean, why not actually just make the game again? Like Final Fantasy 7.
Why not make a new game? There's an idea.
Well, that's probably it.
There's an idea.
No, we're going to rinse this IP.
What have we had from Capcom recently? We've had Street Fighter 7 Zillion. We've had fucking Mega Man Collection.
Yeah.
Legacy,
Yeah.
Which is solid.
Yeah, but it's still a
but I've already got it on
multiple platforms.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that they sell it to people that haven't got them, or nostalgic and stuff, but surely they're not hard games to port or remake or spend much time on.
You can farm that out to a studio, a third-party studio.
You can go online and download it, play it on an emulator,
which we do not support.
No, but all the best Resident Evils theoretically you could download and theoretically play them on a Dolphin player, on a theoretical couple of £100 laptop,
if you were theoretically to do it.
With
on
my
a
theoretical
Xbox,
couple of £100 laptop in my currently theoretical bag.
the controller of your theoretical choice, an Xbox One, a PS4,
I know what you mean,
360.
Using the Xbox theoretical dongle, understood.
It's one of those. I think that they personally, I can't help but cynically think, is this going to be a factor in whether they bother with 7, making Resi 7?
Flogging a dead horse, anything gets to 7, it's like Rocky films, or look at
Police Academies.
Yeah, exactly. Come on,
by 4 you're just there thinking, really?
People love franchises, but when they go that far and it's still the same thing, it's like Call of Duty. I mean, we were talking about first-person shooters going back into sort of like the old war stuff. It's still there's no more mechanics to do, is there? What else can you do? Doom's coming out soon, and I played the alpha of that. That has got some proper original Quake style play. As soon as I got into it, I was jumping with my rocket launcher out that you have readily equipped. It felt great because it wasn't anything like every other game is at the moment.
But do you know what? Like, you take the principle of Resident Evil. For me, I'd be like, right, okay, do that. Get some old school zombies. Don't give us this new, like, you know, plant viral kind of growth things that they had in the more recent ones.
Yeah, we want Nazi zombies. They're the only type.
Yeah, give me a shotgun and let me blow some of the limbs off of it. Do you know? Not just like bullet sponges, which are just like blam, blam. Is this gun powerful enough? Blam. Now they're dead. I want to be like blowing holes in them.
Wait for the count, and it's aim up, and then it counter 2, and then blam, and you just watch their head tumble off every time.
Exactly. You know, give us some real sort of visceral stuff. But I mean, come on, there's not some better games they could have remade.
Yeah. I was thinking like the Onimusha trilogy.
Yeah, man.
That needs to be really needs to be rebooted.
Yeah.
Because again, remake the first 3, and then you can bosh it in with a fourth.
I wouldn't go for remake. I would.
No, but bring the first 3 forward, like you say, just a port over, just a HD port. It doesn't have to not go anything excessive, just so you can bring up some. Because again, these are now, like you say, 15 years old games.
I know.
This is the thing. I remember
these. How old you are?
These released when I was at school.
I tell you what, the thing that I remember about those games has been blown away by, you know, in the little bits when you go outside and you see the seawater, and it was full video. The seawater, they just sort of cut it into level and just standing there like, wow. When's it all going to look like this? When?
Well, talking about good-looking games. That's a nice segue. I'm going to bust straight in there with our second bullet hole, which is Semarost, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, 3, coming out March 24th, PC, Mac. We had a quick look at this game before the podcast, and god damn, it is a good-looking game.
The art style is superb.
Beautiful. Just really beautiful. Good. It's one of these sort of puzzle-based. Go here, have a conversation with them. You know, give them a teapot. They unlock a door. Some quirky shit like that.
Clicks.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at a little bit of the history of the developers. It's a Czech developer who did it. They did Samaros, the first one in 2003, and the second in 2005. They did games like you have to excuse me on this one because I'm so going to pronounce these wrong. But Machinarium. Thank you, and also Botanicula or Botanic. You can do it.
Botanicula. Yeah.
But either which way, all of these games. I played Machinarium.
Yeah.
Thank you. And amazing. Played it on my iPad. It's just like an amazing little point and click game. Very similar sort of stuff. Well, pretty games.
That was one of the games that sort of preceded Tim Schafer thinking that you should go forth and make Golden Age.
Golden Age? No, Broken Age.
Broken Age, that's the one. I was thinking Golden Axe.
Yeah. Why didn't he make Golden Axe?
Oh, he should have. You know, he probably done better than Twisted Metal.
But do you know, I really hope these games get like a bit of traction and we actually see them on like the Xbox One and PS4, because we were looking at it saying, why aren't we getting games like this on the next gen? Need that badly.
I think it's something that the control schemes for them do somewhat hinder it. The PlayStation 4's not so bad because you've got the little touchpads.
Well, they did say that they're going to be bringing a mouse and keyboard to the X1.
Yeah.
Recently, so that might be interesting.
They've been saying it for a while. When they actually going to do it?
Didn't they say that about the 360? They're like, yeah, we're going to do that. Just don't know when.
Yeah. Anyway, bullet hole number 3, Jedi. What you got for us?
CD keys. We've just spent £33.99 each.
They have just secured. They've just secured the better part of £68.
Yeah. Quantum Break. £33.99 right now on CD keys. Get on your phone quickly because it'll probably be gone by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
But
what are you saying about my podcast putting together skills?
Well, I can't imagine it'd last that long if people see it, because I buy it all digitally anyway, and I would have bought it the day it comes out, whatever, and it'd be 55 quid, 60 quid. You guarantee it.
Let's be honest, we were discussing that it's pretty dry for releases over the next sort of few months and stuff. So, titles like that they're waving flags over it saying, get this game. And if you're the kind of person who's got to play it, I gotta play it, then
it'll be the have to game, won't it? You'll be sat there and be like, well, that's what I've got to play. That's the one.
Yeah.
Again, though, Alan Wake was a very underwhelming commercially sales-wise game, but it was an exceedingly good game. I mean, their previous Remedy, previous works at Remedy, you'll see Max Payne.
Yeah. I want that on backwards compatibility as well.
The first one, I love that game. That was pretty much like the first game I bought for my PC. that wasn't like the crappy games that you got with it.
Yeah, I was PS2
and it was,
for that, but yeah,
it's unreal. Playing that with the mouse and keyboard, just that was the first game I'd noticed how much better it is.
Yeah, it's a dark game.
So Quantum Break, what have we seen of it? That's. I mean, we've just gone, buy it now. But I mean, I've seen some of the stuff on it, and I think it's quite an interesting idea. But we don't really know a great deal about whether it's going to be any good or not.
I think it's just going to be your basic third-person cover shooter, but you've got the time-stopping mechanics. It's very story-driven. I know there's been a lot of drivel out with all this full motion.
Well, no, it's not that. It's you've got a TV show that runs alongside
see,
it.
I'm not going to watch that.
But
so.
apparently, your actions in the game. We've talked about this previously, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like we were trying to figure out how it can work. Is it going to be like this thing that they've recorded, say, like where they do with soaps and stuff, when you've got the big finale, they record like 15 different endings, so you don't know which one it is.
I like that idea of just being like, you play all your way through the game, you're like, I'm going to protect this person all the way through, I'm going to screw over all the other characters just to make sure that I get to bone this bird at the end, and then because the majority of the community has gone a different way, you don't get that ending. What the hell, man, come on.
It just makes no sense to your viewing at all.
It's going to be down to the basic stuff, isn't it? It's a third-person shooter. It's going to be down to the shooting mechanic.
Yeah,
it's going to be how the gameplay goes. You know, it's in its genre. It's not a special on its own sort of game. It's a cover-based third-person shooter.
It's not exactly a pioneer.
No,
really.
So it's all going to be down to them shooting mechanics.
They can't even really say that they're like a third-person action game can beat with the time mechanics, because you had blinks.
No, it's got
the original Xbox when it first came out.
It's got to have a solid shooting, a nice feel on the weapons, a good cover control, and really pretty graphics, and it'll do fine.
Yeah,
and at least 10 hours.
It's got the latter of the graphics. It looks stunning.
Well, that's what it needs. This is what
I've seen running.
It's pretty generic, really. I mean, I love these sort of games, but they're to a penny now. You can think of a million shooters that all run the same way. We're looking forward to Uncharted. It's again same sort of genre game, you know. So it's down to those mechanics.
Oh God, I can't wait for Uncharted. Anyway,
bells and whistles.
Yeah, look, I think we all hit up our what's the beef, Chief.
I think so.
Let's do this. What is the beef, Chief? It is time to get vexed and ratty. It's time to vent, to get some cathartic feelings by beating that fucking meat, baby. So, sorry about that. Anyway, so what's the beef, Chief? Link.
Street Fighter 5.
Just again.
Again.
Hot topic of the week, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's just really petty, bullshitty things, but a lot of it's quite valid at the same time.
Does anybody feel that basically Capcom sold their soul on this one?
Yes.
I don't think they sold their soul. It's just they just sold half a job.
It is proper half a job, isn't it? Half a job, mate.
It is, mate.
I mean, there's how many characters did we say?
16.
16 characters, and most of them are pap.
I had my first go about an hour ago. I love Street Fighter games. It felt the same as any other Street Fighter. It was nice, it was smooth, you know, you got the V triggers to start learning with. But for the amount of characters and content,
I mean, I showed you the storyline stuff, didn't I?
Yeah, that's, you know, I've got a very big Street Fighter collection, and I can't think of one game, you know.
Man, you've got literally the biggest Street Fighter collection. Like, Jedi has literally every Street Fighter ever. We're talking like the Japanese case ones, we're talking all
love
of
the
them.
artwork on them.
Yeah, the lot, and this ain't going to make you buy Street Fighter.
No, I'm so disappointed, because I was going to get a PS4 for this. The amount of times I've said I'm going to get a PS4 when that comes out, and I still haven't got one yet. I'm hoping Uncharted 4 is good.
Yeah.
But that does bring me slightly onto with the Street Fighter thing. A bit different.
Where the hell is the characters? Where the hell is the story mode? Where the hell is all of it?
No, where the hell's all my other Street Fighter games on the Xbox?
Well, yeah, there's it's got to be something to do with this licensing that they've done with Street Fighter 5.
There's got to be some kind of
exclusivity clause or something like that.
Yeah, Yeah, because obviously we all know that obviously Microsoft aren't exactly well received in Japan. You can just look at the sheer sales numbers, or lack of sales numbers, is like you sort of more correctly state it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there was weeks where like the Xbox was selling like 300 units, like 300 units in the whole entire country. You got the PlayStation 2 smashing it by about 10,000 units. So it's never really received an awful lot of love.
But I mean, I just don't get. I mean, going back to 5, I don't get how they put that game together and went, can we get away with this for 55 quid? And everybody high-fived and went, yeah, it's fine. Now, I did the sensible thing and bought it day one. But I did go to Asda or Tesco's, or one of the other shops are available.
Other cheap supermarket outlets
are available, yeah. And found it for like 42 quid, which I thought, bargain. Then I went home and played it and I thought, not a bargain. I mean, back on that story mode stuff, because that really got my tits, because I know that everybody plays this game for online, you mac around on like the main storyline and training and stuff like that to get yourself up to speed. You rinse it on hard, and then you go online to basically either get served or to serve. That's it's napkin dishing time sort of thing. But like story mode has got literally like, Rashid is like one of the new characters, quite a good character, quite like the design of him, quite like the moveset on him. He's got 2 fights, they give it 3 sections, and the third one's an epilogue, which is just storyline. It's like, come on! And the storyline is pap. I mean, I'm really beefing now, but I mean, like, I would say probably 1/3 of the storyline for the characters is listening to what's his name, Birdie, is it? Like just sitting there going on about how he's hungry and he wants something to eat. Have you got some food? No, I haven't. I'm gonna fight you for it. I haven't got any food. Let's do this. Oh, my stomach. It's just like, really, come on, Capcom. I mean, they're trying to build out like Bison as a bit more of a badass this time, and he's like head of the Shadow Lou and all this sort of stuff. But it never comes to any sort of fruition, and Ryu walks around spending most of his time talking about his fist. Like, I haven't mastered my fist yet. Like, what is going on? I don't know. It just, like, shit storyline, no storyline. Network, I mean...
Yeah, I was just about to say, I tried to jump in then. It's... I haven't got much experience. I've only had one fight online because that was all I could get in the short time I was playing it, and it was unplayable. It was completely unplayable. I had the fight request mode on. I think you done 12, 13 fights on survival. Nobody joined in.
Nobody's playing it.
Street Fighter 4, it was constant.
Yeah.
You turned on request and that was all you did.
Yeah, and the thing is like we always know that we always know that when a Street Fighter game comes out, there's going to be network issues. But Link, you had a point about them like doing like 3 beaters and like surely they should have got this down by now.
Yeah, but this is it's the kind of thing that you can never really appreciate under a beta test, that the stresses and the strains your network and your servers are going to face. Granted. But, at the same time, you should know that if you're projecting to sell, say, 1 million copies in the first week, then you should have your network infrastructure, and it's not, like I say, it's not the first time that they've got to do this, and they know to do this. You'd think that they'd have their shit in order by now. Yeah, and do you know, the one thing which really sort of gets on my nerves is this week there was an article, I forget which website I was reading it on, but it's like, finally, 10 days after release, Street Fighter's got its network sorted out, and then we played it tonight. Maybe for PC.
Yeah. I mean, I never saw a game that bad on Street Fighter 4 ever play as badly as that one did. No. Jumping around, like, you could tell what your character was doing because it made the noise of Shoryuken, but your character wasn't doing a Dragon Punch. Dreadful stuff. Let's talk Season Pass.
Oh god.
Yeah, you won't have to buy any characters on this game apparently.
Yeah.
And you can earn the points.
Yeah. So apparently. Season Pass, 25 quid, 6 characters. The characters are Alex, Guile, who, let's be honest, should be in the game anyway. Ibuki, Balrog should be in the game anyway. Yuri, was in the last game. I know it's an additional character, but should now be in the game anyway. And you're in. Well, I'm not being funny, but none of those are the characters. Where the hell is E Honda? Where is Blanca?
Where? Why would you buy that season pass? Because there's no real, other than Guile. There's
Sagat. Where's Sagat?
Yeah, there's no real characters in there that would make you think, oh, I've got to have that.
Yeah.
Honestly, really. And it's not been horrible, but you're thinking, Guile, well, I'll just buy him when he comes out. I'll just spend £6 on Guile.
Yeah.
That would do.
And it really annoys me because I'd be fine if let's be honest, right? There's certain characters that we know should be in there. There should be Ryu, should be Ken, should be Chun-Li, should be Dalsim, should be Zangief, should be Blanca, should be E Honda, should be Balrog Vega, M Bison, Sagat. You know, those are kind of like just the
core.
Yeah, the core characters.
So I wouldn't mind if they'd done maybe like on. Do you remember Street Fighter Alpha 3? It had a massive roster, but only about half or 2/3 were open at the start, and you had to go through completing it with different people, and then you unlock another character.
That's how it works.
Why can't we have something like that back? Please.
So everybody knows my favourite character in Street Fighter is Akuma, and where the hell is Akuma?
It'll be next year's season pass.
But the thing is, it's this year's season pass is 6 characters. And they're not the ones I want.
No. This year's? Is this all we're getting this year? This
year's season pass is 6 characters. But they did say, this is really, £60 worth of content because you've got 6 characters and you've got different costume sets. But we're doing a bargain. It's £25. No, you're not doing a bargain. It would be a bargain if the whole game was £25 and then you did a season pass. But to charge full retail.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why the way they've worked it out, because they've got their special fight pass or fight coins, which is the zennies, and it roughly works out 100 zennies is like $1 or £1.
How do you earn those in the game?
I don't know.
It's I'm pretty sure it's online gaming.
Yeah,
basically.
You'll get
if you can get a game.
If you can get a game and you actually know where your character is on the screen or what he's actually doing or anything,
or
like
if
that.
he's actually where you think he is, and not sort of a couple of frames into the next animation.
Very disappointed. I was toying with the idea of buying a PS4 to play that game.
Yeah.
So let's
lucky dodge.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, is it? I need an excuse to buy one at some point.
I just don't think you've got it today.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, so on the plus side, what is good about it? Because graphically, I think it looks pretty good.
It looks stunning.
Yeah.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you was playing it offline, the animation and it looked really solid. It did look the part.
Although not a massive departure from 4. I mean, I haven't seen them side by side, but just seeing that one, and I haven't played 4 for a while because I want it on backwards compatibility. It did look quite similar, but it was nice. It was smooth. The frame rate was nice.
It's one of those things where I think if you put them side, I mean, when Street Fighter 4 came out, I just remember going, "Spooge, that's ridiculous! How are they getting that out of a console? Or that'll never run smoothly." And it did.
Runs better smooth.
Yeah, so they used some sort of witchcraft on the last generation to sort of get that to do what it was going to do.
Although I must admit, I was quite disappointed it was the same sort of style again, because there's a lot of directions they can go. I mean, do you remember when they first brought out Street Fighter 4 and it had the cutscene with the ink sort of art? Why can't we have one like that? Or go back to the old manga Street Fighter 2 movie. They never,
Jesus Christ,
sort of like a blaze blue, whatever it's called. Something like that manga looking. Why can't we have things like this?
Why haven't they run that in the story mode? Basically, just get a couple of the manga writers, and just fill us out.
There's a lot of manga movies. They did all the alpha ones as well. They weren't as good, but the original one, that's
yeah. I don't know. It didn't have the. It just feels rushed. It feels really rushed. I mean, the closest thing to the storyline is that survival mode, which is a nice twist, but to me that's like attachment stuff. That's I
was happy playing survival mode on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Game Boy Advance. That I was happy on that because it was, when I'm on a console, I want to be a classic arcade mode, not a I was going to say a story mode, but not a story mode like that. A story mode like every other fighting game, without exception, ever.
But do you know what? If even if they taken in the, and I'm still ranting on about this story mode, but even if they'd just done something like, right, Ryu, let's start talking about his story from when, do it from the beginning when he was training with Gokin, and they keep referencing all these other characters in there, and you're just like, where are they? But like, show him developing, show him going off and like, refining his like Hadouken. Let's see him like struggling with the was it Satsu no Hadu? Let's see him turning dark. Let's see all that stuff. Let's see Ken trying to help him out. Ken spends most of his time driving around with his bird going, I wish I was Ryu. It's like, oh, come on, just do something decent with the storyline.
And another point, going back to the amount of characters, I think they could have got away with the lack of content if they'd had a roster like they did in Arcade Edition. The last one, 44 characters, I believe it is.
Yeah, exactly that.
You could deal with it then.
I think it's one of those, you could forgive the story being really lame if there was loads of characters, because there's just no way that they could fill it all out for this amount of characters.
Yep.
That's fair enough. Or, if they didn't have loads of characters, have some meat on each of the characters. So there's a bit of background, and you can go back, and like you say, there'll be rivalries between some of the other characters that they've got in there. And if
the Alpha games touched on that, they were
if they'd have sort of fine-tuned the roster, so say for every sort of Alpha that you've got the Omega.
Yeah.
So there's always that rivalry between the two characters, and there's the tension created in that, and there's story from that.
And just any modes, really. I mean, do you remember when Tekken sort of 2 and 3 were out on the PlayStation 1?
Yeah.
The amount of modes you get like Streets of Rage style modes, and just everything. Time attack, story mode, survival,
survival, all that stuff.
The lot.
But do you know, I could almost. It's even to the point where I thought, where's my second super move?
Yeah.
One super move, just like, oh my god, really. Anyway, all right. So I'm vented.
I think it's a case you need to just put this one to bed, really.
I'm putting that fucking game to bed. I'm not playing that game for like the next 2 years. When they finally get their shit together, they've got all the content out, or a lot more of the content out, and they have some crazy sale because nobody's fucking playing it anymore. That's when I will then dip back into that, buy it all for like one bargain price when they do the Street Fighter V Super XE Ultra Edition times 12. That's when I'm gonna get back onto that game, and hopefully they'll have the network sorted out by then.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for the backwards compatibility.
Come on, backwards compatibility. Come on, Microsoft, break out those lawyers, work your way around that clause.
I want Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix.
Now.
Can you make a bigger name?
Yeah. There's a challenge. Cool. Let's move over to our Uncharted territory. And here we are. I've gone to my mellow Zen voice because we're in our Uncharted territory section. And Link, what are we attaching to our chilled and mellowed minds this week?
Do you know, I just can't help but think of that voice as like, that's the kind of voice that's going to try and scam me out of money by saying that my personality's flawed.
That's right.
Or offer me sweets in a park.
Let's see some puppies, little boy.
But yeah, we're looking at sort of extracurricular gaming. Which, again, I've never really sort of heard the term until you sort of mentioned it earlier.
I like to make shit up. I like to make shit up and say it's something to talk about, and here we go.
But it's just the little bits outside. So obviously, you've got your main bits and bobs that you do on your games, but there's stuff like achievement hunting. There's like meta games, even modding as well to an extent. So it's just talking a little bit about that, really.
So a great example, and I'm just going to jump into achievement hunting here because it's something which I know is very close to Jedi's heart, or at least it was, and it was very close to my heart, was just going around, and because we are Xbox people, it's all about achievements, not trophies, and I couldn't give a flying monkey's nuts about trophies on the PlayStation account, but as for achievements, damn, that was like a nasty, nasty crack habit.
That noise. I used to hear that noise.
GG's, baby.
Yeah. But you even still get it now, though, don't you? You hear that little jingle, and you're like, oh, how many have I got? How many have I got?
And the GG flourish when you like complete a game on its hardest setting first time through, and it's just like complete storyline on easy, 25 Gs,
Ding,
complete it on
ding,
medium,
ding.
50 Gs, complete it on hard, 75 Gs, complete it on extreme, 100 Gs, and you're just like, oh god, oh yeah.
My favourite one from it was the cross-platform stuff, like GTA, where you've got the online component. Obviously, as soon as it went online on the Xbox One,
Ding,
it
ding,
was just
ding,
like,
ding, ding,
have
ding.
some more, have some more, have some more. Destiny was even better.
Well, for GTA, it gave it to me in spits and spats as it sort of worked it out over the course of a few months. Like,
oh yeah, you got
complete the game. Yeah.
Do you remember The Last Airbender on 360?
Oh man.
Legend of the Last Airbender, it was what, 20 minutes, 1000 GG?
You literally showed up at mine and went, check it out, I'm going to go to the training section and I'm going to spend about 3 minutes hammering this button. That was it. It was like 1000 GGs.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about, you know, when Love Film was doing games, you had your membership, you got a game, it didn't matter how shit it was, you rinsed the GGs out of it. I mean, I played some pap. I played some real pap.
Like, if you look on mine, the amount of GGs the amount of games that I've got, where it's just like 5, or like you turned on the game and played it for 5 minutes and just got bored and just put it straight in the case, straight back in the envelope, back into the post box.
Whether at the 5 level, 300 or 1000.
Yeah.
It never seems to be anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Nothing, a bit, ooh.
I can't even think if I've actually finished off. Oh yeah, I did Sleeping Dogs on the 360.
Well, you
that was a piece of
it.
piss. Yeah, it's an absolute piece of piss though.
There are certain games, like arcade games, where I was just like, I have to 100% these. So like Soul Calibur 1, Soul Calibur 2, they're both 100%ed.
Castle Crashers?
Not Castle Crashers, but
Feeding Frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy. What was it Doritos Crash Course?
Yeah! Brilliant game.
What was the other one? Gunstar Heroes. That was 100%. But I mean, there is something horrible when you're playing a game and you've got like, I know, like 19 of the 20 achievements, and you look at the last one and it's like, Gears of War, like get 10,000.
Oh, seriously, yeah. I did the entire Gears of War 2, all 79 achievements. It took me about 3 years. Seriously, 2.0. It was fun.
It's when then you see online though, like a couple of the sites that I go on with the communities, and you're watching them and like, oh yeah, I just platinumed that one the other night, and then I just went and finished off that one. And you're thinking, it's been a week.
Yeah.
There's stuff in there that you like go and kill 50,000 people online. You're like, how?
But because there's this, I forget what he's on at the moment, but it's like Stallion83 who's like holds the highest achievement.
There's over 1 million, isn't he? He hit 1 million ages ago.
Yeah, he hit 1 million ages ago. But I mean, I saw not an interview. I can't remember what it was like. It was. I guess it was a written interview with him, and they basically said like
transcript.
Yeah, and they said like, what you know, how do you do it? And he says, well, I work for my dad, which means I can sporadically be at work only when I have to be. I live at home, and I've got a very, 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 very understanding girlfriend. It's like, no shit. I mean...
Yeah, Rosie Palm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I loved achievement hunting, but it's died a death for me a bit on the Xbox One.
I think they made a really big mistake when they took off the showcase. Like, it was showing you how much you've earned in that month.
That's back.
Yeah, it's finally back.
It's back.
Is
wow,
it?
Yeah. I think on the preview it's back. I don't know about the...
No, I was going to say, I updated the other day and it's not come back yet.
I know there's a point...
It's in the achievement section. It's not out on the front and centre anymore.
I know there's a point when I was chatting with Panasonic and he basically said there's probably about a month or two where he was just like... just watching that achievement board, and any point where anybody went above him, because he was like most achievements in the last month, he was sitting at the top of the board, and any point where anybody went above him was like, I've got to find a shit game and do an achievement now.
Just back through the catalogue. Right, I've not played that, go.
Yeah. So I mean, talk about achievements. What's your numbers, boys? Link?
Amiga 30,019.
For how many years?
Probably...
Well,
my tenure, I think it says on the profile says it's about 4 years, but Yeah, I'd probably say about that.
That's not a bad game. I mean, I whenever I look at sort of gamers, on average, anybody who doesn't give a flying monkey's nuts specifically about achievements, they're always sitting around that 30,000. You know, if they've been playing games for a while, sitting around that 30,000 sort of mark. Jedi, yourself, you're on the
67,568.
67. Now that's the sign of somebody who took their achievement hunting seriously.
Yeah, but I had a baby. It's 9 years tenureship, that one. So I haven't really had a chance to do any major gaming for any longer than an hour at a time.
So I never gave a flying monkey's nuts about achievements until you came round, and it was actually when you brought round the last Airbender game, and you were like, "Why don't you get achievements? What about this one? You know, it makes the game more fun."
10,000 behind, weren't you?
And I was like, I was on 35, and you were on 40 something, and. Yeah, you were just like, yeah, you ought to get on it, and that was it. You completely fucked both myself, my relationship, my sleep pattern, the amount of work I was doing, all by getting me into achievement hunting. And yeah, I just absolutely caned it.
Go on then, give us your number in shame then. Go on.
131,883, which is on an odd number, and I can't fucking stand it, because these people come out with these fucking achievements which are like 3 GGs. Or there's one, I can't remember what it was. There's 2 achievements which are really I've liked and I've also hated. The one that I liked the most was there's a Bond game when I was trying to cane my way to 100,000, and it was on the Moonraker mission, and it was like experience 0G, and you went into a 0G level and you got 0 GGs for it, and I was like, that's cool, okay.
That's awesome.
So that was the one that I loved. The one that I hated, I think it was either Braid or some other puzzle game like that, where you complete like the first mission and it gave you like 1 GG, and it was like, it begins, now finish it, and the remaining like difference, the rest of them were all even numbers bar the last achievement, which was like
the 9,
the complete it, which is like the and I was like, oh, you fucking animals, why have you done this?
That sounds like Jonathan Blow all over.
Oh man, but yeah, but I'm not back on achievement hunting, and I find the main reason why I'm not on it is because on the 360 it was really easy to get up your achievements, and just like you hit the middle button, go to it, and it would just list them out, and you'd be like, right, what have I got to do to do it? Now I feel like it's just hidden away.
It's better now on the new experience, but you still got to go into that achievements app.
Yeah.
No, I don't need to see all the bells and whistles. I don't need it snapped on the side. Just a basic list.
Don't need it snapped on the side. I don't need pretty pictures. I just want to know how many people I've still got to kill to get that fucking achievement.
Funnily enough, when you're playing backwards compatibility, if you press a start and select, you get the old Xbox menu and you can go instantly to your achievements. Just like, you know, because that does actually annoy me, that now on the Xbox One, when they pop up at the bottom, if you hold down your middle button, it snaps the app on the side. Your game's, you know, shrunk down. You're waiting for an app to load on the side, whereas
you lose control of the game that you're playing
because you're in the snap.
Yeah. All you want to do is just see what it was for, because it does normally now say what the achievement is down the bottom.
If you're paying attention.
Yeah, if you're paying attention. This is it. You hear that noise, you could be balls deep in a chainsaw. So
that's not a pretty. That does not make a pretty picture.
No, it does not.
Being balls deep in a chainsaw. So I swear I've seen some internet videos like that.
Oh man, you should be watching that. You get arrested for that. But anyway, moving swiftly on, metagaming. So great example, GTA. We talked recently about snipers versus stunters.
Yeah. Obviously, we did a bit of helicopter jousting.
We did do.
Obviously, it didn't really last long, to be honest. But, no. Then there's Frogger in GTA as well. That's another good one. Where obviously go in first person. You go and find a busy freeway. Fire off a few shots to get the traffic a bit more erratic, and then basically see if you can just run across the freeway and make it across.
Well, we did chase the big orange ball on top of the shack. We did chase that down the mountain. Managed to get that most of the way up the mountain and then chase it down. That was quite amusing.
One of my favourite ones on GTA was getting Futo Crew to the top of Mount Chiliad.
Oh God, that thing! Yeah, that was insane.
Just like 5 of us, or however many it was, just started off in the middle of Los Santos or wherever we are, and we're just like, put a pinpoint for the top of Mount Chiliad, and he was like, just get there as quick as you can, and we all took the same route, and it got pretty dirty because photos are like pig on ice anyway.
Sounds so fun.
I think that was about 3/4 of an hour in the end.
Yeah, pushing people off. I mean, just trying to get down the motorway is enough of a mission, but
yeah.
Yeah, trying to, and then some of these photos were like underpowered as well. So trying to get, you slide down a bit, and all you'd be like, please get up there.
There were times though where you'd be like, right, I give you a nudge up because obviously you need a nudge over that thing, and then you'd end up screwing yourself over, and you're just there spinning round in the circle. Or the worst one is you're spinning round in circles but still sliding down the mountain.
Yeah.
So you're like, I can't do anything. There's nothing I can literally do to stop myself. I've spent 10 minutes getting up that, and within 10 seconds I'm fucking back at the bottom.
I do remember once doing it with Johnny Bouet, Rebel Forces, the legend himself, and I just remember like trying to race him up to the top of the mountain, and at one point I said to him, how are you getting on? He went, not well, and he did a capture of it, and it's just his like car upside down, just sliding on its roof going down the mountain, like nothing you could do about it, couldn't turn it over. That was it. Yeah.
I've got some lovely captures on that game. I've got one of me taking your head off with a helicopter.
Oh yeah, that one was superb. That was brilliant. I remember that. That was on the boat, wasn't it? On the yacht.
No, it wasn't actually. It was down on an underpass.
Oh really?
Yeah. Sorry, interesting little tale there.
But I mean, this is exactly what like gaming's about. Or this kind of like, I'm going to take this plane or this helicopter, flying a helicopter through a tunnel and shit like that. There's no reason to do it.
I've tried that. That didn't work out well for me.
No reason to do it, but you can't help but think, I'm going to do this.
I think that the test of a good game though is when you can find new unintended things within that game.
Well, look at all the videos you keep seeing on sort of Facebook and that of Battlefield 4. Some of the amazing things people do on that, with the jets jumping out, sniping someone, landing in the jet, and the person just shot and then flying away. And
I saw someone use one of the bridges. Obviously, you can shoot the supports. They used that as a whip to fucking take out a jet. Literally, he's just like watching. You see him just sort of pans down to the thing. Right, I've got them set. Looks up, waits for the jet, and you can see him follow the jet, and he's just like bang. You see the things explode. This fucking support cable just goes fucking whack, and you just see this sploosh. It's fucking brilliant.
It makes me want to play the game, but I'm so bad at it. I just can't. I can't get back to it.
I watched one guy, and it was on a YouTube video, and I'm sure if you Google it, you can probably find it. And it's that whole sort of in and out of a plane thing. And basically, he flies up, ejects out of the plane, breaks out a bazooka, fires it against the other plane, takes him out, jumps back into his plane and flies off. But for the whole thing, they just play the Superman music. Man, that had me in tears. But I mean, and other things like I remember me and Defiled like having longest sniping competitions. Yeah. Just me and him.
Some of those shots, they were brilliant.
Just ludicrous distance, all you can see is like a glimmer of a pixel, and you're there for like half an hour just trying to get your breathing right to be like
about 2 inches above their head. Yeah, brilliant.
I think that's why I love playing games though. I mean, I've like Pro Evo and stuff like that. I remember for years and years, like there was the challenge between me and another friend of mine, who could score the halfway goal. And that would be like there would be money exchanged. It'd be like, right, there's the pot. Yeah. And it wouldn't count if neither of us wasn't there. So he could have scored 15 goals from the halfway line. If I wasn't there to see it, didn't count. So it was only ever in each other's presence. So you kind of practice at it, but you wouldn't really try it too much because you'd be pissed off if you achieve it and you weren't there. Yeah. Or some sort of proof. But obviously this was sort of pre-camera phone days, and like a capture card, you'd have to have, like you say, £2,000 worth of gear just to capture video.
But do you know, I think this sort of like metagaming is only really developed in the current genres, because I don't remember doing any of this sort of stuff on like the old SNES Mario Kart
sandbox era, aren't we? That's the thing. Everything's a sandbox now, aren't they?
I mean, what did we just watch a video of before we started Uncharted? Well, yeah. So me attaching like high-powered jets to the back of cows' arses and like launching them into the air. Did that for about an hour. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, also, what about genre blending and stuff like that? I mean, that's something that we'd like to see, wouldn't we?
Yeah, like we're saying with this Street Fighter, the extra content, why couldn't they have a kind of a Streets of Rage mode? Yeah, it might be a bit clunky in that, but you'll be able to use your special moves. Anything. I think a lot of the shooters need to kind of borrow from some other genres to try and.
If you look at Borderlands, I mean, they took essentially that was the first person RPG, the first person RPG, and again Destiny as well. They took to an extent that was like with the MMO first person shooter.
I'm thinking more mechanics though, rather than like. Some like sort of hand mechanic in a first person shooter. I mean, I know it's all been sort of tried, but you could zoom out into third person and completely sort of switch genre, dependent on the part in the game.
Yeah.
Because
I think though with VR there is going to be. I think this is really where you're going to start seeing stuff like that, because up until now, stuff like that, it's dependent on control schemes, and there's only so many control schemes you can get out of a controller at one time.
Finally.
But again though, we've got the best shooters, we've got the best fighting game. You say fighting games, your best one. You say shooters, your best one. You know how you want it to control. So I don't think it'd be that hard for someone to sort of one of these companies just steal a little control scheme from there, one from there. Just I mean, it might not work, but it would make a full game, wouldn't it?
But it's worked in the past. I mean, you think of games like Road Rash. That was a bike game, which was also a fighting game, and the fact that you came up beside someone and smacked him with a chain, that was cool. I'd like to see a bit more sort of like. Like, do you remember you had Destruction Derby, you had Twisted Metal? Those were I love the Twisted Metal games. They were great. Like cars with rockets and machine guns, and you had to battle your way around.
I'll tell you one that kind of got missed that I actually really liked, and that was on the 360. You had Alien vs Predator. Do you remember the multiplayer in that? It had a 3-button rock scissors stone system for melee combat. If it was a hard hit, you had to block it. If it was a weak hit, you could deflect it or something like that. And it just made for up close, little mechanics like that. If they can start tagging more things, I mean, obviously too many cooks and all that.
But do you know, one of the things I've always wanted, I'm about to say an idea for a game that if anybody ever listens to this, they'll go, I'll pinch that, and I'll be playing it someday going, shit, I can make a load of money on that. But I always wanted them to do a fighting game which wasn't necessarily about jumping around the screen, but actually about up close quarter combat, like deflects and punches. So you do a quarter circle to deflect outwardly and all that sort. I really wanted to.
I always like to say a pure combat game as opposed to a sort of a Tony Hawk's-esque over the top.
Well, when you said that, I tell you the game that popped into my head would be Fight Night Round 3 on Xbox 360. That was that game, because I remember playing that. I've never been big on the sport boxing games, but I remember playing that thinking this is really quite deep. There's a lot of, it's all about the defence, the guard and the movement, as much as the punching. It was. But I know what you mean, intricate and close. I mean, like the original Soul Calibur, the thing that did that for me was the blocking system. Me and my mate, we used to both be Mitsurugi. We'd be going for 10 minutes a round. Ting, ting, ting,
So a mate of mine, we played a round where we had more deflects than we did hits, and it was the most intense match we'd ever played, because it was just like, and do you do an aggressive deflect where you step forward, or do you do a sidestepping deflect? Oh man, that was amazing.
See, this is what I'm on about, all these little mechanics that made a sort of standard genre game, like a fighting game or something that you remember. That's like I said, that's what I remember about Soul Calibur. Then fast blocking games, so take a bit of that and a bit of this other system, and mix it up a bit maybe.
I think that relies on the talent of a good team
and the balls, because there's a lot of money now. This is why we keep getting sequels and franchises, because it's a safe bet for the investors, isn't it? Let's face it.
We'll see with
Speaking of investors, though, I see Ubisoft are crapping themselves a bit, because obviously they've been having a few of their sales shares go on, obviously changing hands. I think was it Viacom? I think bought a load out.
Oh god, not Viacom again. I mean, these were the guys who destroyed games trailers, the website.
Well, they obviously have pretty much bought Gameloft.
Which
was at the time one of the pretty much the biggest mobile publisher. So yeah, they're
A
turning
lot
out
of bad ports.
churning out shite. But
Jesus.
I think I was having a quick little read through this morning, and they're looking at maybe going for an aggressive grab of Ubisoft.
Oh dear.
Because they were looking at Canadian investors to buy the shares that Viacom want, so they can't buy them.
Well, I'm sure they can all sort of chip in 30 quid to buy it, because let's be honest, Ubisoft.
What's the latest game for Ubisoft? Is that the Far Cry you're playing? Is that Ubisoft?
Yeah.
What's Quantum Break? No, that's Remedy, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be Microsoft Studios.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, well, final thought, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but it's what Uncharted's all about. Just wanted to say, people, go out there, get on Kickstarter and support Jason Mewes and
Silent Bob,
and Kevin Smith doing their Silent Bob. I think it's a Chronic Blunt Punch.
Yeah.
Just do it. It looks great. I mean, graphically, it looks really good. You know how many times I've ranted about a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Come on now, put your hands in your pockets. Support these guys, please.
Well, it's something like Shank. Remember Shank?
Shank was good.
Something like that.
Ridiculously good.
And Shank 2, and also Mark of the Ninja.
I still yet to buy that. I was really pissed off. I saw that for like £5 or something, and I was like, oh, I'll get that. Completely forgot. And it never went back on fucking sale, did it?
Oh dear, brutal.
Never got to play it.
Brutal. Okay, so there we are, folks. We are going to wrap this up. Jedi, thanks for joining us yet again. Always a pleasure to have you. Never a chore. Final thoughts on just generally gaming at the moment? Where you at? Do you want something special? Want something new?
I want more time to do it.
And Link, anything for yourself?
I just want No Man's Sky.
Okay.
That's literally all I want to play at the moment.
So from Link, it's
Adios.
And from Jedi, it's
Montachos.
And for me, it's Laters Potatoes.